Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hello. So I am here to present Ironic Biotech, a company that fights iron deficiency and anemia, conditions that affect 2 billion people around the world. Just look at the admissions in hospitals that UK has had in the last 10 years. It has increased 40%. And you see the blue section is iron deficiency. This is the total for admissions in hospitals because of nutritional diseases. Iron deficiency is by far the biggest problem. And it is because not only gives you fatigue, also can give you depression and even neurotypical disorders. And what is the problem? Why is this a big problem? Because the solutions today are very bad. They are poorly absorbed, the iron that we have in iron supplements, and on top of that, they make you sick. What we propose is this red solution that you saw me already drinking, and inside you're going to have this protein that we have an IP for, and it is really, really very good at giving iron into your bodies. So much that the bioavailability is similar to the one in meat. We can really mimic the iron bioavailability of meat. And if we compare it to other commercial iron supplements, we are way, way better. Actually, our latest animal results show that the chickens that take Ironic Biotech don't get constipated, while the chickens who were taking iron supplements, poor them, they were really hard. We can put our ingredient into different segments, everything from high-end nutraceuticals to food mass fortification. Altogether, only in the US, this has a total market value of $40 billion, just the US. Who are we? We are really 5 people who is truly committed to solve this problem because we have it, personally or someone we love. We have more than 20 years of experience in iron proteins, as well as developer commercial and then technical transfer for scale-up. We are recruiting more people now to strengthen our commercial arm and our research. So please, join us. And I really hope to find partners and investors to defeat iron deficiency and anemia. Thank you. And my question to the panel is simple, but I think a little bit tough, is how can we better highlight the properties and the uniqueness of our active ingredient and also avoid being lost in the crowded environment, which is supplements and nutraceuticals? Because today, you go to Google and say iron supplements, and how to make Ironic to shine there.
Well, in general, I think it's a very interesting story, and I suppose it's all true. So the bioabsorption is much higher or comparable to meat. Then you have to think for who is this relevant? Well, the patients, of course, the consumers, but who's interested in this kind of story? Because it's a fantastic thing to discuss with the consumer in the end. So I think you have to find a channel where there is endorsement needed, where storytelling is important. So I'm thinking of specialized drugstores, for instance, if you would go directly to the consumers. Well, we know that you have also been working on clinics in the past, so that's also endorsement, which I think could also work. But if it's a quick win, or a quick way to success, and probably via retail is quicker, I believe. And then if you ask me how do we stand out, well, you have a very interesting story, so make sure that you get some contacts in specialized food drugstores and chains in the world. Maybe I can help you with that.
Do you have a very technical team? Like your founding team is very technical?
Yeah, well, yes, it's very technical, and that's why we are now strengthening with more commercial business.
Yeah, I think to dare to go out and talk to people who have kind of experience building your story, which is probably people with much more marketing background, even out of totally different field, listen to them, ideas that they can bring, because this is not that you don't need technical people for this one. So dare to go out and explore, talk to other companies who had a very technical story and worked with really good teams that can make this translation from technical to market. It's not easy.
No.
I think you're going B2B rather than B2C, right? So.
That's a very good question. Yes, when we started, it was B2B very much, but I think sometimes now we haven't discarded B2C. We are doing that study today to really see.
Because, I mean, B2C is extremely difficult to the end consumer how to promote and what is the message that they understand, and are you using the right channel, basically, right now, the right influencers, right? So that's usually a different play that if you go B2B. B2B, usually you're talking to people that have understanding about the industry, about the problem. So in my view, it would be how to nail it down to really explain the piece of the bioavailability, why is that superior to any other else, and what is your cost in use, right? Then they can formulate the products and create what would be the compelling story for their customers, right? But they are usually more experienced on that end on how to bring those benefits to their own consumer, rather than if you try to go all the way to the end consumer, usually doesn't work for a technology-driven founders, because you need to have this kind of marketing madness, which usually they don't have, right? But going to the B2B approach, I will try to narrow it down to simple two functionalities, why your ingredient is superior. Price is always a major point in the discussion, specifically cost in use, and then understanding in which applications they want to use it.
The audience, anyone? We haven't had a question yet in the audience. Yeah, gentlemen? Francesco?
Oh, nice.
It's fine.
Hey there. My question is, have you talked to nutritionists and personal physicians, maybe personal trainers, who whether there is a market for this, whether people actually check the supplements for the performance on the iron efficiency aspect?
Yes, actually, yeah, we have talked to the medical community. We are in very close conversations with, for example, the National Bleeding Disorders in the US, with the director of the World Hematologists Association. So they are really engaged in the technical side, and the way we see it, for example, in the US market specific there, it is important to have the doctor recommendation. So now we are starting a very much medical discussions, to try to approach, for example, all the maternities, Medicare, Medicaid, because that's where people go and they can recommend it to people. So that's one way that we are seeing, but that is for the US market. Then, of course, we have to go to the medical community. Looks different in every country.
And for the European market?
The European market, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say it's out of the question, no, but because the regulatory is going to take time. It's going to take between 2 and 3 years. So that's why we're taking one beast at a time. First the USDA, because then the regulatory is going to be quicker to solve the commercial there. And then European Union, while waiting for EFSA to react, then we can start the market into European Union.
Understandably. Thank you.